Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Jenkins. Welcome to Sports and Exercise Nutrition Lab. I'm excited. All right. So here's the deal. You are going to have Dr. Thompson for lecture, and you have me for lab. Okay. Dr. Thompson and I have worked together for many years. So you are in good hands, not to worry. Him and I have worked together for a long time. So, what this means is you're going to get your lecture materials, your actual lectures, your lecture exams, your assignments for lecture. All of that is with Dr. Thompson. All right, so if you have a question about one of his assignments or one of his exams, you're going to want to ask Dr. Thompson. And then separately from that, you have lab with me. So if you have any questions about the lab, ask me, okay? At the end of the semester, I will calculate your lab grade and I will send it to Dr. Thompson and he will incorporate it into your whole grade, all right? How it works out is what you do with Dr. Thompson, the lecture and the final exam, makes up 75% of your grade. And then what you do with me for lab makes up 25% of your grade, all right? Now, I've taught this lecture before also, so if you have questions about the actual material, feel free to ask me, okay? All right, so here's how the lab is going to work. On Blackboard, you're going to have a Blackboard page for lecture, and that's going to have your material with Dr. Thompson. And then you're also going to have a second Blackboard page with lab, and that's going to be me. So you'll click on the lab Blackboard page, and you'll already see for the whole semester all of the material for lab. How it works is each week we have a lab to do, okay? And you will see every week I'll post a nice big announcement, and it'll say, this week we're doing the lab on scientific method. This week we're doing the lab on heat content of foods, whatever the case may be. So that big announcement will say, this week, this is the lab we're covering. And then when you go under lab materials, you'll click on that folder for scientific method, or whichever lab it is that week, and you will see everything you need for that lab. Now, we will not be meeting at a specific time for Zoom. Your lab materials are available online all week, and you can do them anytime throughout the week that you like. Okay, so let me say that again so everything is clear. We will not be meeting at a certain time on Zoom or any other platform. Instead, each week, starting at Monday morning, you'll see the lab material available to you for that week. Okay? So you'll go to that lab folder, you'll open it up. Oftentimes there'll be a little link to a video. So I will post a video going over the most important parts of the lab. You have to watch the videos. It'll be a link in Blackboard to my YouTube page. And along with links to videos, there will be a lab worksheet. So each week, as you go through the lab material, as you watch the lab video, you will have a lab worksheet to complete along with it. Okay, so each week you watch the lab videos, you do what you have to do, you complete the lab worksheet, and you email it to me, and that's what's going to happen each week. Now, maybe you've heard the word on the street about myself, Dr. Jenkins. I do not take late work. And when I say I don't take late work, I mean I don't take late work. Each lab assignment is going to be due at midnight on Sunday. So you'll have all week to do it. If you email me your assignment at 12:01 on Sunday night, I will not take it. If you email me with questions, I'm available all week. I even check my emails on weekends as best I can. But if you email me with a question Sunday at 10 p.m. when everything's due at midnight, it's very unlikely that I'm going to be able to answer you before it's due. And then come Monday, if you still ask me a question, hey, I emailed you last night at 10, too bad. So do your lab material earlier in the week, or at least earlier in the weekend. You're going to have to plan ahead, okay? Do your week earlier. Do your lab work earlier in the week. Don't wait until Sunday night to email it to me. What if there's a technical problem? Okay, you have all week to do this lab material, and I don't take late work, and I mean it. Okay, I have some notes here to make sure I talk about everything. So we're not meeting at a certain time. The lab material will be available for you all week. If you have questions, email me. In addition, I will be holding weekly Zoom office hours. So even though we're not going to be meeting on Zoom at a certain time for the lab, I will, if you go to our lab Blackboard page, every week I will post the times and then a link to a Zoom virtual office hour. So you are welcome to log on to the Zoom call, ask me any question you want. If the office hours that I have posted don't match your schedule, email me. Say, hey, those times don't match my schedule. Could we meet on Zoom at a different date and time? And I will do my best to work with you. Okay, so I am here to help you. You just have to reach out to me. All right? Let's see. In addition to our weekly labs, so each week there'll be a lab to cover, and then there'll be a lab worksheet due. In addition to that, spread throughout the semester will be 3 lab exams. All right? During the week of a lab exam, there will not be a lab due. So you can devote all your time that week to the lab exam. It'll be on Blackboard. And again, that lab exam will be available all week, and you'll have to take it no later than Sunday at midnight. Now, if you take the lab exam Sunday at 10 p.m. and you have a technical problem, because sometimes Blackboard just kicks you off, and you email me, well, it's unlikely I'm going to check my email at 10 p.m. on a Sunday night. So take your lab exams earlier in the week, or at least earlier in the weekend. That way, if there's a technical problem, it gives time for you to email me and say, hey, Blackboard kicked me off. Can you reset the exam? And it gives me time to reset it for you before it's due at midnight. All right? Okay, 2 more things. This is going to be a fun lab, folks. I wish we were meeting in person because we're going to be using virtually. We're going to be talking about the bod pod, skin fold. We're going to put someone on a treadmill and collect a bunch of data. It's really kind of a fun lab. It's not ideal to be doing it online, but I have worked hard to make it as good as it can be online. All right. So if you put the time in, you should be able to get something out of it. I really think that. Also, this course is hard. Let's not beat around the bush here. Dr. Thompson's exams are challenging. So you want to be able to use lab as a way to boost your overall grade, okay? You want to do well in lab, which you absolutely can do if you spend the time and study and ask me questions. Plan to study, folks. If you put the effort in with lab, it can improve your lecture grade, or it can make you even better in lecture. So use lab to help. But you're going to have to study. You can absolutely do it. Don't fall behind. Don't not hand in something. That's just an easy way to already put yourself in a hole. Last thing, I'm also going to be posting a code that allows you to log on to an app on our phones called Remind. So it's a free app you can download called Remind, and I'll put a code on our lab Blackboard page. Remind is basically a way that you and I can text back and forth. So if you have questions, this is another way that you can communicate with me. I know a lot of people these days, email is so last decade, so it's easier just to write a message. So this way, without us having to know each other's phone number, you can just log on to Remind and just send me a message. Hey, I have a question about this, or when is this due, or whatever. So no excuses, ladies and gentlemen. All right, it's going to be a great semester. I am here to help, but you have to do your part as well. So, any questions, let me know. Let's start the semester off well.